what's up fam? Today we're gonna dive into a topic that's straight up crucial for all you CS2 players out there. This one's gonna be especially clutch for the newbies and the mid-tier players. We're talking about aim positioning in the game. Like for real, you can't underestimate how big of a deal this is, cause a ton of the basic mechanics in the game rely on aim placement. Just think about pre-fires and wallbangs. Any player worth their salt knows how crucial positioning is and stick to those fundamental principles. But before we get into the video, I gotta ask you to smash that like button, hit subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out the dope content I drop, cause 98% of you watching my videos without subscribing. Let's change that. And yo, don't forget to watch till the end so you can fully grasp aim positioning once and for all. Let's get it. Alright, so let's break it down. Aim positioning is hella crucial in pistol rounds, cause that's when landing those headshots is key as heck. But first off, let's clarify what I mean by aim positioning. Basically in Counter-Strike, it's all about guesswork and assumptions. Let me give you an example. Say you're playing Inferno on the T side and you wanna take control of Banana. When you push out, you're making educated guesses about where enemies might be at a certain timing and ruling out where they should be. If you're rushing from the spawn, they won't see you mid. If you're pushing Banana, enemies shouldn't be close, so they might be waiting for you from spots like car. And now here's the real deal. How a weak player checks these positions versus a strong one. And an experienced player will peek wide and have their crosshairs somewhere around ankle level. Their attention's all over the place, and if they spot an enemy, they waste even more time readjusting their aim and usually end up shooting at legs or bodies. On the flip side, a seasoned player will be laser focused on their crosshair, checking every corner where an enemy might lurk. So what's the difference? Well, the noob, when they spot an enemy, they gotta waste time aiming at them, whereas the pro already has their crosshair where the enemy's head should be, eliminating the time waste. Everyone's reaction vary, some are quicker than others. Your only shot at landing a kill then is to flick, but if you're up against pros, by the time you process what's happening on screen, you'll be spectating your teammates. Another issue is even if you manage to start aiming at the enemy, there is no guarantee you'll do it accurately, cause most players panic in those moments. Their hand loses control of the mouse and their left hand starts messing up the keys. Your brain just can't make it right, calculated decisions in panic mode. In simple terms, it's way easier to shoot and aim for the head with proper aim positioning in the game, cause when your crosshair's vertical positioning is always on point, it makes reacting to an enemy beacon way smoother. But enough talk, let's dive into the importance of aim positioning in real gameplay situations so you can truly grasp why this aspect is crucial. If you've been following the scene for a while, you've probably heard of a player named Centaurus. If so, you're familiar with the term Centaurus Peak. What he does seems unreal, but it's not supernatural. His main secret? Aim positioning. Sure, his aim is top-notch, but that alone won't make you do what he does. A beginner or a not-so-strong player getting headshotted off the bat like Centaurus does might immediately cry cheater. But just holding your crosshair at head level ain't enough. Another big issue most players face is pre-aiming, where an enemy might be before you even see them. It's a bad habit that's cost you rounds before. Remember this simple rule: never pre-aim into an area where an enemy might be. So how do you do it right? If you wanna check your crosshair placement, keep it at a certain distance from the corner you're checking. Your crosshair should be about one crosshair width away from the corner, depending on its size. And don't forget about strafing. You gotta be ready to counter-strafe if you spot an enemy. I've talked about strafes in one of my past videos. You can check it out with the prompt in the top right corner. And also, don't try to check multiple positions at once. Go through them one by one, minimizing the risk of getting caught from multiple angles. Stay sharp, y'all! Now that we covered aim positioning when you're picking enemies, let's talk about where to hold your crosshair when you're expecting enemies to come to you. Let's break it down with a specific example. You're playing city side and now you're waiting for an enemy to push you. How should you position your crosshair? Close to the wall, far away, somewhere in the middle? It all depends on your reaction time zone. Everyone's got their own, and it also varies depending on the situation. But the key is to position it so you can shoot them in the head before they cross your crosshair. There is no point in holding your crosshair too close to the wall because you won't react in time, but having it too far away doesn't make sense either, since the enemy likely won't strafe that wide. You'll get a feel for your reaction zone over time. The only thing to consider is how far from the wall the enemy is likely to peek. If they're peeking close to the wall, hold your crosshair a bit further away to give yourself time to react. If they're peeking from further away, you can hold it a bit closer. That's how the game's perspective works. I've covered this in the detail in one of my previous videos, so check it out if you need more info. So after hearing all this info, you might be wondering how to train your aim positioning. Generally, the best way is to play real matches, but if you don't want to risk your rank or elo, I've got a few solutions for you. First, there's a deathmatch servers. I'm sure you're familiar with this. You run around the map and kill anyone you see. While this mode doesn't replicate competitive situations exactly, it's great for getting a feel for your aim. In this mode, it's best to hold one position and defend it rather than running around the whole map. Secondly, there is a retake and execute servers, which you can easily find. The situations there are more realistic, but not 100%. People often play less cautiously and might make moves they wouldn't in a real match, but it's the best option available for training, so hop in and get practicing. And let's summarize everything we've discussed. First, always keep your crosshair at head level of your opponent. Don't forget about your reaction zone when enemy peeks. Don't expose yourself to multiple angles at once. Always keep practicing. Remember, if your crosshair isn't on the ground, it doesn't mean your positioning is good. Keep evolving and never stop learning. And that's a wrap from me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. I reply to everyone. Help me reach my first 1,000 subscribers. See you in the next video, bye bye!